Trump threatens 35% tariffs on Japan as US halts weapons shipments to Ukraine and amid war. The State chapter of the Association of Juju Musicians of Nigeria has endorsed Governor Biodun Ibanji for a second term. Led by the governor, Femi Akpadidun, the musicians staged an endorsement walk to the governor's office, praising Oyebanji's commitment to citizens' welfare and the state development within 3 years. Akpadidun said members had received unprecedented support from the administration and would mobilize votes to return him in 2026. Receiving them, the secretary to the state government, Professor Abibat Adubiaro, thanked the musicians for their public endorsement, urging them to collect their voter cards to ensure the governor remains in office till 2030. Also present were the Special Advisor on Political and Inter-Party Affairs, Chief Jide Awe, the Special Advisor on Gender Empowerment, Mrs. Kemisola Olaleye, Argon Chairman Olusegun Ojo, and Director General Community Communications, Mary Osho or Motosho. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, ex-Senate President David Mark, and other top PDP leaders have reportedly dumped the party. In a communique after their meeting in Abuja, the leaders adopted a new coalition to unseat President Tinubu, lamenting that the APC government had worsened Nigerians' living conditions. They described the PDP as a shadow of itself, weakened by threats, blackmail, and patronage under the APC administration. A Uganda military helicopter with 8 people on board has crashed at Mogadishu's Aden Ad International Airport. Video footage showed smoke rising from the airport and a fire outbreak after the crash, which emergency services quickly contained. The head of Somalia Civil Aviation Authority, Ahmed Malim, said the helicopter crashed in the airport military section after flying from Baledogo Air Base. The cause of the crash and casualty figures remain unknown. Jihadist fighters have launched simultaneous attacks on military posts in several Malian towns, marking the third major assault on the army in a month. The army said it repelled the attacks on killing over 80 militants, but gave no details on other casualties. A Al-Qaeda-linked group, Jamaat Nusrat, claimed responsibility, saying it seized 3 army barracks. The Congolese government says it shot down an aircraft in Minembwe near the borders with Rwanda and Burundi. The army claimed the plane entered Congolese airspace without permission and bore no identification number. However, M23 rebels said the aircraft was delivering food aid before it was destroyed. Liberia has held a symbolic reburial for former President William Tobert, 45 years after he was killed in a coup and buried in a mass grave. 13 of his cabinet members executed days later by firing squad were also honored in the ceremony attended by President Joseph Boakai. The event was seen as an act of reconciliation for Liberia's violent past. Qatar has contacted customers after a cyber attack on its third-party customer service platform exposed data of 6 million people, including names, emails, phone numbers, birth dates, and frequent flyers numbers. The airline detected the breach on the 30th of last month and said it took immediate steps to contain it. Qatar is still investigating but expects a significant amount of data that was stolen. This is the broadcasting service of Ekiti State. For news, information, or comment, join our live streaming on our Facebook page at Ekiti State Radio. You can also like and share our page. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose tariffs of 30 or 35% on Japan if both countries fail to reach a deal before next week's deadline. Japan previously faced a 24% tariff announced on April 2nd under Trump's Liberation Day policy, later reduced to 10% for 90 days to allow negotiations. The tariff pause will expire on the night of this month and Trump said he will not extend it. Russian authorities say 3 people have been killed and 45 injured in a Ukrainian drone attack on a factory in Izhevsk, over 1,000 kilometers from the border. Governor Alexei Breshalon said 6 people were seriously injured and he had briefed President Putin. A state of emergency has been declared over the incident. U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed to the necessary conditions for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. In a post, Trump said the U.S. will work with all parties to end the war and urged Hamas to accept the deal, warning it will not improve. Israel has now confirmed agreeing to the conditions and Hamas has not commented. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has commended the U.S. President Donald Trump for securing a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. In a post on X, Musk said Trump has successfully resolved several serious conflicts worldwide. This follows Trump's announcement that Israel agreed to a 60-day ceasefire with all parties working to end the war in the Middle East. The U.S. has halted some weapons shipment to Ukraine as Russia's war intensifies. White House spokesperson Anna Kelly said the decision followed a Defense Department review to prioritize Americans' interests. The U.S. has sent tens of billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine since the 2022 invasion, raising concerns about low stockpiles. And to sports, the much anticipated Bow Continuity Cup kicked off at the Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti with Ekiti Southwest facing Ekiti West in the opening match. Technical advisor on sport development to the governor, Dr. Olushola Osetoba, and Ekiti FA chairman, Chief Olu Oloworemo, led other stakeholders to the opening game. VSS reporter Tunde Adeyemo of our sport desk reports.
The game started on high note with Ekiti Southwest dominating proceedings and creating goal-scoring chances. Their effort paid off in the 21st minute when the goalkeeper of Ekiti West failed to parry a direct free kick to safety and allowed Marvelous Ajongbolo of Ekiti Southwest to tap in from close range.
He makes a beautiful cross and that was a beautiful strike. The defender.
Ekiti West came all out in search of an equalizer, and in the 27th minute, Afolabi Abdullahi took out 2 defenders and unleashed a screamer that found the back of the net, leaving the goalkeeper with no chance, ending the first half in 1 goal apiece. In the second half, both teams created few chances, but they were unable to get the winning goal. The game ended 1-1 at the regulation time and went into penalty shootout. Ekiti West eventually won by 3-2, advancing into the quarterfinals on 4-3 aggregates. Speaking after the match, the technical advisor on sport development to Mr. Governor, Dr. Olushola Osetoba, and the FA chairman, Are Olu Oloworemo, lauded the effort of the organizer, Mr. Tolu Adewumi, for doing a yeoman's job. He added that the tournament will help discover more talent in Ekiti. They also thanked Governor Biodun Oyebanji for providing an enabling environment for sports to thrive in Ekiti.
Biodun Abayomi is doing well for them in youth development and job creation, even particularly in sports, in sporting activity. Look at what we are doing today. It's because of Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji.
Targeted aim and objective is to get more talents who we can as well nurture to get into our team. Even though if it is not Ekiti United, they can get to better team outside there.
The organizer of the competition, Mr. Adewumi, who could not hide his joy, said the football competition was aimed at supporting the continuity agenda of Governor Oyebanji. He expressed optimism that the competition will bring people together from all the local government areas of the state to support the re-election of the governor.
Hoping that we're going to be seeing talents, we're going to be harnessing talents. The truth is, Ekiti has enough talents that, we are proud to say we have enough talents. And of course, just like you said, we are doing this to support the second bid of our dear Governor Bao.
Israel Akinyemi of Ekiti West won the Man of the Match award and was presented a gift. The tournament continued across different centers in the state. Tunde Adeyemo reporting.
Still on sports, Jacob Vande has resigned as head coach of Ekiti Queens after just one season. Vande, who joined from Adamawa Queens, was tasked with stabilizing the club and maintaining its status in the Nigerian Women's Football League. The soft-spoken tactician is known for his attacking style of play. And in the latest matches played in the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup, Real Madrid of Spain defeated Juventus of Italy 1-0. Borussia Dortmund of Germany beat Monterrey FC of Mexico 2-1. Real Madrid will face Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinals on Saturday, while PSG of France will play Bayern Munich of Germany in another last-8 encounter. To end the world news here again at the main point, we told you that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, as Senate President David Mark, and other top PDP leaders have reportedly dumped the party and adopted a new coalition to unseat President Tinubu. You also heard that our Uganda military helicopter with 8 people on board has crashed at Mogadishu's Aden-Ad International Airport. It was in a bulletin that U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to impose tariffs of 30 or 35% on Japan if both countries fail to reach a deal before next week's deadline. Lastly, on the world news, we told you that the U.S. has halted some weapons shipment to Ukraine as Russia's war intensifies. And before we go this afternoon, we leave you with this message. Let's take proactive measures to prevent flooding in our homes and communities and in the country at large. That's the world news as edited by Kelechi David. I am Abimbola Adegboyega. Good afternoon.